Hi everyone, Miss Wants here. Today I'm going to teach you about colons and how to use them in a sentence. So let's get started. So first of all, what is a colon? So that's what a colon looks like. It's a pair of stacked periods, one on top of the other. But a colon can also be something else. We are not talking about an intestine. So they're both pronounced the same, they're both spelled the same, but in this case, we are talking about a punctuation mark. Now, Scout has a list of punctuation marks and she's ranked them on the difficulty level. And you can see that the colon is just a little bit under halfway. So it's about medium difficulty to use the colon properly in a sentence. And we're going to go ahead and learn exactly what to do. So first of all, what does a colon do for a sentence? So a colon introduces a series. The series is usually 2 or 3 items or ideas, but it can go higher. We use a colon to point more attention to the information before and after it. Let's look at some examples. Example 1. After Scout wakes from a nap, she thinks about the dreams she has. So that's a perfect complex sentence, as you've learned about. Let's add some information. Let's add some things that she dreams about. And we want to do a quick shout out to Francisco C. from Rio de Valle for drawing the dog lion, and to Bryn G. from Cabrillo for drawing the seagull and the pineapple. So we're going to create a sentence with a colon that looks like this. Her dreams usually feature 3 characters: a dog lion, a pineapple, and a talking seagull. So that is what you would do to use a colon in a list. You're taking those 3 items and you're putting them right after the colon to introduce it. So the colon is pointing to the information in the list so that we know that there are some items coming up. And it's also pointing kind of backwards to the number 3 and the word characters, and it's amplifying or making them stand out a little bit more so that we realize how important they are. So now when we see that colon, we think, oh, there's 3 characters coming up, and we get ready for what they are. And this really helps out a lot later when you make a really long, complicated list with semicolons and commas, which you'll be learning in the next lesson. So that colon can come in really handy to prepare people for a very tricky list coming up. So a colon is basically like saying the words which are. So let's read this sentence without the colon and just put the red which are in place of it. Her dreams usually feature 3 characters, which are a dog lion, a pineapple, and a talking seagull. By taking the which are out and just using a colon, we're being more efficient, we're being more elegant in our writing, and we're giving some important information to the reader. When you don't have a colon, for example, it's perfectly fine to say this: her dreams usually feature a dog lion, a pineapple, and a talking seagull. However, when we remove the words 3 characters and we take out the colon, we lose a sense of importance about Scout's dreams. The colon hints that these things that inhabit her dreams are distinct and special. We would typically want to use the colon before we go into more details about these 3 characters. For example, if we were going to write a few sentences about the seagull or a few sentences about the dog lion. So let's look at a second example. Hercules has gold fur, a curly tail, and a loud roar. That's a perfectly fine sentence. But if we wanted to amplify these features of Hercules, we wanted to point them out and make them a little bit more distinct and special in a subtle way, we could say Hercules has 3 impressive features, which are gold fur, a curly tail, and a loud roar. And of course, we're going to replace the which are with the colon. So that's how you build that. So let's build a new sentence with a colon. The seagull in Scout's dream has no name and is annoying. So here's the list of things the seagull does that's annoying. He complains, he steals French fries, he brags, he eats all the pineapple, and of course, he poops everywhere, like seagulls always do. So put those all in a sentence. The seagull in Scout's dream has no name. He does 5 annoying things, colon, complains, steals French fries, brags, eats all the pineapple, and poops everywhere. So now we have everything condensed into one elegant sentence. Now there's a rule with a colon, and you don't want to misuse a colon in a sentence. And the rule is simple, but a lot of people make this mistake. Do not put a colon after a verb. For example, this is wrong. The 5 annoying things the seagull does are, that would be wrong. Are is a verb. We don't put colons after verbs. So we want to fix it by just taking the are out. The seagull does 5 annoying things, colon. Here's another example. This one's wrong. The dog lion's features are, we don't put colons after verbs. So we fix it by just taking the are out, take that verb out. We still have a verb in the sentence, the verb has. And several features is what we're going to be informing the reader about with the colon. So here are 4 attempts for you to see if you can understand if these sentences use a colon properly. So here's your 4 sentences. I want you to pause your video if you would like to and see if you can tell which are correct and which are not correct. And then I'll show you right away. Okay, so first one. There are 2 choices at this time, run away or fight. That is correct. The colon is put after a noun, it is not after a verb, and it's introducing 2 items in a list. Number 2. He wants to see 3 cities in Italy, which are Rome, Florence, and Venice. Wrong. We don't put colons after verbs, and are is a verb, so we're not going to give you any credit for that one if you chose that one. Number 3. Here are the 3 states that begin with M: Michigan, Mississippi, and Maine. Correct. And number 4, the house I want has a huge backyard, a pool, and a horse barn. Wrong. Again, has is a verb, and we don't put colons after verbs. So to recap, these are the 2 correct ones, and we can fix number 2 and number 4 this way. So that's it for today. You can go on to practice and feedback. I hope you learned a lot about colons. Scout says good job, and we will see you next time.